In September of 2021, a British YouTuber named Colin uploaded a rather disturbing video titled "Exploring an Abandoned Hospital" to his channel The Bearded Explorer. His channel primarily focuses on urban exploration, and he frequently posts footage of his strange encounters while exploring various haunted and abandoned buildings. In this particular video, Colin decided to explore an abandoned hospital known as the Zachary Merton Ward, situated in Stanmore, England. Constructed in 1936, it was one of the first dedicated rehabilitation facilities in the UK. This was a crucial step in advancing patient care at that time, as there was a growing recognition of the need for specialized care for patients with chronic conditions. However, as medical technology and rehabilitation practices evolved, the need for older facilities like the Zachary Merton Ward diminished. The ward was ultimately shut down in the mid-1980s. Since then, the hospital has been completely abandoned for over 40 years and has gained a reputation for being haunted. One of the most famous paranormal sightings linked with the ward is that of the Grey Lady. She is typically described as a figure dressed in gray, believed to be the spirit of a former patient or staff member. Some witnesses have reported seeing her walking through the ward, while others have felt her presence without actually seeing her. Despite all this, Colin chose to explore the haunted hospital on his own. As he began his exploration and stepped foot inside the hospital, he immediately noticed the terrible condition of the building, with crumbling walls and ceilings along with piles of paper and junk scattered everywhere. During this time, he mentioned that this was one of the creepiest places he'd ever been in and was nothing like he'd ever explored before. As he explored further, he discovered stacks of old furniture and medical equipment left behind. Everything up to this point seemed to be going pretty smoothly for Colin, as he didn't hear or see anything unusual. However, as he made his way into the hallway, he started hearing some pretty bizarre noises, and that's when things started to take a very disturbing turn for Colin.
Do you know, I've been to a lot of buildings and places on my own, but this place here is giving me the chills like you wouldn't believe it. I think this place closed back in the 1980s. You know, it's been empty for a very, very long time. I'm actually surprised it's still here. Normally they bring these places down, like... What's that? Oh, I'm hearing noises in there now. That wasn't nice. It sounded like footsteps. That was really creepy. There is so much stuff in here. Oh, what was that? I don't think there's anyone else in here. I'm sure there isn't. I keep hearing these weird noises. It's an empty, disused building. There's probably all sorts of animals and things in here.
After Colin heard the noises, he initially didn't think much of it. But when he heard the noise again, he ultimately concluded that it must belong to an animal and immediately got back to his exploration. However, as he explored the remaining parts of the building, he started hearing the noises once again.
Cool. Well, I think that is pretty much everything, guys. I think that's the whole site done. So take a walk back downstairs. Now I'm going to do some pictures, do some cinematics, and then I think we can make a move. Fuck. Hello?
As Colin was filming the window, he suddenly heard a loud banging noise coming from the hallway. He immediately went towards the noise to investigate its source, but unfortunately he found nothing that could have caused such a loud bang. Nevertheless, Colin didn't back down and continued with his exploration. However, as he was exploring one of the rooms, that's when he encountered something that sent him running out of the building.
What the hell is that? Starting to be some really weird stuff in here. Oh, fuck!
According to Colin, while he was walking through the hallway, he suddenly heard a loud bang. This immediately sent him running, and as he picked up his camera, he claimed to have seen a figure standing behind the blue chair before it vanished right before his eyes. Although his camera didn't capture the figure, he did identify a point in the footage where a figure can be seen standing, but it is still a mystery if this was a figure standing or merely just a shadow of some sort. However, the mystery surrounding the figure doesn't end here. After Colin uploaded this video to his channel, he uploaded another video where he returned to the haunted hospital a month later to investigate further. However, little did Colin know that what he was about to encounter this time would be far worse than anything he'd experienced during his previous visit.
Cannot believe that I'm doing this on my own at night. Definitely not going up that way first, I'm going this way first. Why am I doing this? Why am I here? Why am I doing this? Oh my God, it is absolutely freezing in here. It is absolutely freezing. There's no windows open in here. Every single window is boarded. Ooh, ooh. Okay, whoa. Okay, that was creepy. It felt like I bumped into someone, but there's no one there. Literally, I step into this room here. The temperature change from there to here. Now, that is really strange.
As soon as Colin entered one of the rooms, he noticed that the temperature inside was significantly colder, and the moment he stepped back out, the temperature returned to normal. This detail is particularly alarming, given that many paranormal experts claim cold spots may indicate the presence of a ghost. The theory is that when a spirit moves, it absorbs heat from the environment, and therefore creates a cold spot within its path. Nevertheless, Colin didn't think much of this detail and continued with his exploration. However, just moments later, as he walked through the hallway, that's when he stumbled upon something truly disturbing.
Why am I here on my own, walking around this abandoned hospital that I saw something? I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a ghost. I mean, I can show you guys now, right? I saw something just behind that blue chair. Now, bearing in mind I saw it with my own eyes, I didn't realise I had it on camera. Let's do this. What the hell was that? I'm sure I heard something. I don't know. It's probably just the wind. Okay, this is the worst part for me. Whoa. I think it is just Whoa. Okay, that's scary. God, this is absolutely... What the fuck? No, I'm hearing noises all around me. I don't know what it is. I am just so terrified right now. I can hear noises. I don't know whether it's pigeons in the loft. I don't know if it's stuff falling from the ceilings. It must be.
After hearing the noises, Colin initially dismissed them as a pigeon. However, after hearing a similar noise several more times, he immediately went towards the noise to investigate its source. But unfortunately, he found nothing that could have caused those noises. He then left the hallway and went upstairs to explore the remaining parts of the building. During his exploration, Colin again felt the sudden shift in temperature, but he didn't back down and continued exploring. However, that's when he started hearing the noises once again, but this time they were louder and closer.
Goosebumps on my whole body right now are just... You could probably strike a match off my skin. Look at this little... What was that? What was that? What the hell was that? Fuck. I think it's just stuff falling from the ceiling, but it's bloody frightening the life out of me. Why does it look like a leg sticking out that door out there? It's not, but... Oh! I've just got all these ideas going through my head at the moment. Whoa. Oh, there's someone in there. That can't be. No. There's no one in here. There is nobody in here. It's just me. Hello? Oh, fuck. There's no one in here.
After Colin heard the loud bang, he immediately ran off, but eventually went back to investigate its source. Once again, despite searching everywhere, he found nothing that could have caused such a loud bang. By this point, Colin was consumed by fear and anxiety over everything he'd been witnessing that night. As a result, he decided to end his exploration and exit the building. However, just as Colin was trying to leave, that's when he encountered something that sent him running out of the building.
Oh, God, okay. Oh, I've never been so scared. I've never been so scared. I'm getting out of here. I've had enough. Fuck that. Fuck that. That was weird. That was really, really weird. What is it about this place? Oh, I hate this place, I really do. Just listen. Shit.
If you look closely at the footage, you can clearly see a red ball mysteriously rolling out of the room. Colin, upon spotting the ball, immediately rushes out of the building and safely makes it back to his car. It's still a mystery whether what Colin encountered that night was paranormal or not, along with the mystery of how the ball suddenly rolled out of the room, or whether the figure Colin claimed to have seen during his initial visit was somehow responsible for throwing the ball. Ultimately, it's up to you to decide whether Zachary Merton Ward in England was truly haunted or not. This is a YouTuber named Chris Hill who in July 2023 uploaded a video on his channel, Urbex Hill, in which he recorded footage of his disturbing encounter while exploring an abandoned church. Chris's channel mainly focuses on documenting his creepy experiences at various abandoned locations. In this video, Chris chose to visit Holton Avenue to film the abandoned church and the surrounding buildings. For those unfamiliar with the area, it is recognized as a particularly creepy street in Cleveland, as it is entirely deserted and abandoned. In the early 1900s, the first Hungarian Baptist church was constructed there, but it eventually fell into neglect and was left abandoned, along with the other buildings on the street. In April 2016, the remains of a woman named Jessica Coleman were discovered there after she had gone missing, and sadly, her attacker was never identified. As Chris entered the abandoned church to film, he observed creepy graffiti, shattered glass, and deteriorating walls. While exploring the basement, Chris found evidence indicating that someone had recently been inside the church. He also positioned several cameras throughout the building to capture various perspectives, and about 10 minutes into his exploration, one of the cameras on the main floor recorded something very disturbing.
What is that? I could have swore I heard something. That's an animal. That's weird. That was upstairs. Oh shit.
Chris initially suspected that an animal was responsible for the strange noises echoing through the church. However, his suspicions were quickly dismissed when he heard a loud door slam coming from upstairs. Realizing that someone might be in the church with him, Chris began to search the area, but he found no one. Feeling unsafe, he decided to step outside and explore the other buildings on the street. To his surprise, the surrounding houses were in even worse condition than the church. Many of the houses looked as though they could collapse at any moment. Chris, however, decided to investigate the most damaged house in the area. About 30 minutes into his exploration, he decided to venture down into the basement. It was at this moment that he stumbled upon something terrifying.
There's a basement. Oh, that looks creepy as f***. This is sketchy. This cannot be safe. Hope I don't find a body down here. It actually looks like it's just underneath the house. It's not really a basement. Still creepy. Sorry. I didn't know nobody lived there. Shit. It smelled like piss. I knew somebody was in there.
As Chris entered the basement, he heard a sound coming from the ground floor, prompting him to quickly get out. When he returned upstairs to investigate, a person holding a baseball bat suddenly pulled back the curtains, afraid for his life. Chris quickly apologized and ran out of the house. Despite the horrible state of the supposedly abandoned house, he realized that someone was indeed living there. The individual was likely a homeless person or a squatter who didn't want him around. It remains uncertain whether this was the same individual who had slammed the door earlier at the church, or if it was a different person. This unexpected encounter took Chris by surprise, ultimately leading him to decide to leave the area for good. In February of 2025, a YouTuber named Nolan uploaded a terrifying video titled Urban Exploration Gone Wrong to his channel, Lord Explores. Nolan's channel primarily focuses on urban exploration, and he often shares footage of him exploring various abandoned locations across North America. In this particular video, Nolan, along with his friend Esme, set out to explore an abandoned church situated somewhere in the United States. As the two explorers began their exploration, they made their way inside through an open door located on the backside of the church. Once inside, they immediately noticed that the structures were in a very rough state, indicating that the church had been abandoned and neglected for a considerable amount of time. As they explored further, they suddenly started hearing the sound of some type of animal crying. However, as they were trying to investigate the noise, that's when they encountered something truly disturbing.
Is it an animal?
Ew, who did that?
Oh, holy shit. No, you're okay. It's okay. Esme. Come here. Holy shit. Go upstairs. Holy shit. You okay?
Oh, I'm fine.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I closed the door.
Oh,
Is there a person with them?
no.
After the explorers heard an animal crying, a dog suddenly tried to attack one of them. The explorers later mentioned they also heard puppies crying and that the dog who tried to attack them was a mother simply protecting her pups. Fortunately, the explorers acted quickly and weren't attacked. However, this was likely the easy part for the two explorers, because the door they had initially entered was now being guarded by the dog. The explorers were now trapped inside the building and somehow needed to find a way out without attracting the dog's attention.
Is it over there?
It's right there, dude. It's protecting its babies. We have to find another way out. It keeps coming back. We have to find a way out quick. I don't want to disturb her anymore.
She's so pretty.
I know.
I feel bad that she's in here with her babies.
She's just making sure her babies are okay.
You gotta be shaken.
So now we're trying to figure out how the heck we're gonna get out, because the only way out is there. We just locked ourselves in this upstairs. Stairwell is right here. The only way that we know how to get out is through that door and past the dog. We have this option, which brings us down to the main floor, but through that doorway and that doorway, there is an entrance to the main chapel where the dog is. Let's just go. I'm not sure, but I need to find something to get us out. Oh, that takes us right back into there. And if she's over there, oh, that is it.
Unfortunately, the explorers didn't find a proper exit, and every time they found an open door, they ultimately ended up right back where the dog was. By this point, the duo was desperate to escape the building and the dog. As a result, the only viable option they found was to climb down a tree through the first floor.
Is there two? She's right at the freaking stairs.
How are we gonna get out of here?
I don't blame the dog one bit. She's just protecting her babies, but now we are in a predicament. If the dog gets up these stairs, we're screwed. Like, totally screwed. We can't close any of these doors. Let's go down this damn tree. Screw this. This roof is a possibility. We can climb down that tree, I'm guessing. Yeah. So we gotta go down this 15-foot tree.
Guys, please save us.
So we've weighed all of our options, and this is the only way down. She's gonna try to go down first, because I don't want to leave her up here if she can't get down. Because I don't think I can get up that tree. So, it's pretty tall, guys.
That's a long way down. I'm not amused.
After the explorers decided to climb down the tree, they sadly found that this option was not viable. The tree was too thin to hold their weight, and jumping off the roof from such a height would not end well. For almost an hour, they continued to search for a different way out. Esme kept an eye on the dog through the balcony, while Nolan tried to block the possible entrance from where the dog might come in and attack them. During this time, Nolan spotted an open window that they could climb out of. However, to pull this off, they had to act fast and be incredibly cautious to avoid attracting the dog's attention.
Okay. Maybe she heard us planning. But we have to go down and over there, under that roof. Because there's an entrance right there, that's why I shut the door.
Yeah, but there's another door that's open that goes that way, wasn't there?
Yeah. That's the only way it's quick, too. We're gonna give this a shot. I hear the puppies right now. I'm never coming back here again. This place. Oh, she's in the alleyway, look. She's in the alley, see her?
Is that her or is that a whole other dog?
That's the same dog.
Fortunately for the two explorers, they managed to find a window to climb out of the building and safely escape the church and the dog. It's still heartbreaking to see a poor dog living in such terrible conditions, who was simply trying to protect its pups. She was likely abandoned by an irresponsible owner who had no idea how to properly care for her and thus left her on the streets. Nevertheless, this video serves as a good reminder that you never know what you might encounter while exploring abandoned buildings.